Hello everybody. Thank you so much for joining me this beautiful afternoon. It's a Monday morning. It's a beautiful day. This is day number 162 of our 365 days of power consciousness. And my name is Gilbert Gwaze. It's such a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to be joining you and to be studying and learning with you and experimenting and doing a lot of stuff. And you might have seen something so spectacular that I started off with. And that's basically how I've been taught to change my old ways into a new me, or into new habits, or into new ways of looking at things, into new ways of doing things. And that is burning my old self and my old ways of doing things up, like literally burning it. I did it in a safe environment, and it's all symbolic. It all represents inside of my mind what I am trying to do. The ultimate goal is to change my old ways and to change into new ways. I'm trying to graduate and gravitate towards my new goals and my new desires, which are constructive, which are going to put me closer and closer to my goals. And when I achieve them with experience, and when I learn through experience, because all this information that we've been teaching each other, guys, trust and believe, it can only make sense when you take all this information and go do something about it, and through experience gain an understanding of the things that you need to tweak and change, and the things that you need to invent. And in the process, you're going to discover that the person that you have become is none like the person you were, and you gain experience. With that, you gain more experience, and you continue doing good stuff for yourself and for your family. So before we start today, I would like to invite you to click the subscribe button if you're watching us from YouTube. If you're watching me from Facebook, all the same, man. Click the share button, like button, share this information, because I guarantee you it has got the serious potential of changing your life if you only take it seriously, and if you implement each and every chapter that we are studying here in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. He took almost 25 years, studied more than 500 people, interviewing them and getting to understand what drives them, what motivates them, what makes them come up with these and those types of inventions. And on this particular topic that we are on, it's only something that made sense after I came back and understood that Napoleon Hill was teaching me something phenomenal, something magnificent. So without wasting so much time, let's dive in and let's move forward. Let's push the ball up the hill a little bit more and learn this spectacular language of stimulating our mind, this spectacular language of how genius operates and what differs between an ordinary person and a genius. And it's all about sexual transmutation. It's all about the things that stimulate us to get more creative with our imagination. Imagination is the most marvelous, miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. And if you didn't know about your creative imagination, this is the best place for you to be. And thank you so much for continuing to follow us and for continuing to follow me, because my goal is to impact more than 1 million people through study, through teaching, and through learning, and through answering a whole lot of questions. Whilst we shut off all the cameras, all the action, and everything shuts down, I go back to my original life. I've got a lot of things that are going on. I've got businesses to run. I've got a family to take care of. I've got people that I need to see and improve their lives. Apart from teaching, I've got a whole lot of things that are going on in the background. So it's all in application, guys. I'll tell you this for sure. It's all in application. If you do not set up your mind to apply everything that you are learning in Success Elementary, you're at a big loss, because there is nowhere else in the world that you might find this information packaged the way it is being packaged right here. You're getting it from someone who has learned for more than 60 years how to simplify this information, and you're getting it raw. You're getting it simplified. All the hard work has been done for you. All you simply need to do is to join us each and every day. Once this video shuts down, we upload a new video each and every day. I've committed 365 days for a reason, because I know sometimes life gets in the way, and you might not get the chance to watch it whenever we record it live. And so each and every day you get the replay. As soon as the videos end, there is always a replay, even if we upload it on YouTube. So don't worry, you're never missing out, you're never missing up anything. I'll continue reading, and I'll start from the point of the difference between a genius and an ordinary person. Napoleon Hill writes, the difference between the genius and the ordinary crank inventor may be found in the fact that the genius, through his faculty of creative imagination, while the genius works through his faculty of creative imagination, while the crank knows nothing of this faculty. The scientific inventors such as Mr. Edison and Dr. Gates makes use of both the synthetic and the creative faculties of their imagination. For example, the scientific inventor or a genius begins an invention by organizing and combining the known ideas or principles accumulated through experience. Through the synthetic faculty, in brackets, the reasoning faculty, if he finds this accumulated knowledge to be insufficient for the completion of his invention, he then draws upon the source of knowledge available to him through his creative faculty. The method by which he does this varies with the individual, but this is the sum and substance of his procedure. Number one, he stimulates his mind so that it vibrates on a higher than average plane using one or more of the 10 mind stimuli or some other stimulant of his choice. Number two, he concentrates upon the known factors, in brackets, the finished part of his invention, and creates in his mind a perfect picture of unknown factors, in brackets, unfinished parts of his invention. He holds this picture in mind until it has been taken over by the subconscious mind, then relaxes by clearing his mind of all thoughts and waits for his answer to flash into his mind. That's the difference between an ordinary crank inventor or an ordinary person who doesn't know the existence or has never heard of the creative imagination. Do you know that maybe 96 out of 100 people do not know that they've got a creative imagination which is ready for their use at any given point in time? And here we are being taught on how to explore that mental faculty, to push us closer to that which we desire, to that idea, to that business we want to study, to that woman that we want to attract, to that money that we so much want to accumulate. We are being taught. This is the how, which people don't like talking about because they don't know how. So step number one is to stimulate your mind. We've been given the 10 mind stimuli. On top of it is the stimulant that comes natural, which is your sex energy, which accumulates and builds up. It's like it snowballs inside of you. It's like a chinchilla that turns gorilla inside of you each and every day you're living, up until that desire sort of like pushes you over to start concentrating whilst it looks for an outlet. Now, the only way we have been taught to get rid of that excess energy or that destructive energy, as some would like to put it, kuti sex energy, the viringa, tadzisa kana kufunga nezvechimwe chinhu. On the flip side of it, that's the most potent energy that can keep you and put you in a rate of vibration which is higher than any other rate of vibration, which is above average rate of vibration in your mind. And when you learn to harness that sexual energy, you have learned the art of sexual transmutation. And what do? You focus on that thing that you so much want to accomplish, that goal, that dream, that house, that car, that woman, that marriage, that healing. If you're in a bad space, your health is not in good shape, you focus on your health, you focus on you getting better, you focus solely on that, and you quieten all the noise. Harness that energy to feed on that picture to bring more color. That is the way we are being taught by Napoleon Hill to do it. That's the how part that I'm trying to bring to you. So sometimes the results are both definite and immediate. At other times, the results are negative, depending upon the state of development of the sixth sense or creative faculty. As my results depending with the individual. Sometimes they are fast, sometimes they are going to be slow. Just understand that there is a law in operation, which is the law of creation, depending with your level of use or your level of experience through the use of your creative imagination. Mr. Edison tried out more than 10,000 different combinations of ideas through synthetic faculty of his imagination before he turned in through the creative faculty and got the answer which perfected the incandescent light. This experience was similar when he produced the talking machine. There is plenty of reliable evidence that the faculty of creative imagination exists. This evidence is available through accurate analysis of men who have become leaders in their respective calling without having had extensive education. Lincoln was a notable example of a great leader who achieved greatness through the discovery and use of faculty of creative imagination. He discovered and began to use his faculty as the result of stimulation of love which he experienced after he met Anne Rutledge, a statement of the highest significance in connection with the study of the source of genius. The pages of history are filled with records of great leaders whose achievements may be traced directly to the influence of women who aroused the creative faculties of their mind through the stimulation of sex desire. Napoleon Bonaparte was one of these. When inspired by his first wife Josephine, he was irresistible and invincible. When his better judgment or reasoning faculty prompted him to put Jocelyn aside, he began to decline. His defeat at St. Helena was not far distant. If good tastes would permit, we might easily mention scores of men well known to the American people who climbed to great heights of achievement under the stimulation influence of their wives, only to drop back to destruction after money and power went into their heads and they put aside their old wives for a new one. Napoleon was not the only man to discover the sex influence from the right source is more powerful than any substitute of expediency which may be created by mere reason. The human mind responds to stimulation. Among the greatest and most powerful of these stimuli is the urge for sex. When harnessed and transmuted, this driving force is capable of lifting men into the higher sphere of thought, which enables them to master the source of worry and petty annoyance which besets their pathway on the lower plane. Unfortunately, only the genii has made the discovery. Others have accepted experience of sex urge without discovering one of its major potentialities, a fact which accounts for the great number of others as compared to the limited number of genii. For the purpose of refreshing the memory in connection with the fact available from the biographies of certain men, we here present the names of a few men of outstanding achievements, each of whom was known to have been a highly sexed nature. The genius which was theirs undoubtedly found its source of power in transmuted sex energy. George Washington, Napoleon Bonaparte, William Shakespeare, Abraham Lincoln, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Robert Burns, Andrew Jackson, Thomas Jefferson, Hubert Hubbard, Albert H. Gary, Oscar Wilde, Woodrow Wilson, John H. Patterson, Enrico Caruso. You see, this is just a list of men who mastered the art of sexual transmutation. Your own knowledge of biography will enable you to add to this list. Find, if you can, a single man in all history of civilization who achieved astounding success in all calling, who was not driven by a well-developed sex nature. If you do not wish to rely upon biographies of men not now living, take inventory of those who you know to be men of great achievement and see if you can find one amongst them who is not highly sexed. Sex energy is the creative energy of all genii. There never has been or never will be a great leader, builder, or artist lacking in this driving force of sex. Surely no one will misunderstand these statements to mean that all who are highly sexed are genii. Men attain to the status of a genii only when and if he stimulates his mind so that it draws upon the forces available through the creative faculty of his imagination. Chief among the stimuli with which this stepped up of the vibrations may be produced is sex energy. The mere possession of this energy is not sufficient to produce a genius. The energy must be transmuted from desire to physical contact into some other form of desire and action before it will lift one to the status of a genius. Far from becoming genius because of great sex desires, the majority of men lower themselves through misunderstanding and misuse of this great force to the status of lower animals. So do you understand the importance of what Napoleon Hill is trying to teach us and the examples of men and women? Anzi kana usingade kuita study the biographies of those who have managed to accomplish a lot, just to look at them and study how they managed to move from one place to the next, how they managed to accomplish results of stupendous value, how they accumulated a lot of wealth in their lives, how they managed to impact a lot of people in terms of leadership and business, in terms of relationships, in terms of just mere leadership, even political leadership. Church, you see at the helm of their art of creation, they mastered the art of sexual transmutation. At the top or at the helm of every mind stimulation resides that potent energy of sex. You train yourself, you are born with it. Kagia kanongwere kana kakutongotanga kutoshifta kachitotanga kutobuilda over and over and over. And a lot of people, they've reduced themselves to the level of animals simply because they didn't know that this sexual transmutation exists. It can be done, you can practice it, and you can turn yourself from being an average individual to the level of a genius. But understand one thing, haisi akuzungori kungowane kuda kuvata kunoita kuti ascend to the level of a genius. It's the transmutation, your art of transforming that energy and channeling it through another outlet of your own making, which is a goal, which is a dream that can push you to the next level, that can draw you closer to your goal and make you the most successful person amongst vamwana very successful. We've come to the end of today's lesson or today's study. Practice in your own spare time whenever the urge starts to set up. What is it that you need an outlet for? If you have been doing things, if you've been lasting, if you've been reckless, if you've been an animal about it, I recommend that you write those bad characteristics down, burn them like what I did in the beginning of the lesson. It's symbolic. It's all meant to get rid of the old ways of you handling things into your new self, which is the more educated person, who is going to start doing things a little bit different to learn from the experiences of doing things different. The open panichin is the true learning power. Tomorrow we will continue why men seldom succeed before 40. This is a beautiful story that has been put in here of why varume vachitadza kubudirira vasati makore 40. And why is it success inotanga kutsvaga vanhu when they've mastered the age, or when they're way past the age of 40. So it has been a beautiful, beautiful lesson. It's always a pleasure sitting here with you and studying with you. Before I say my goodbyes for today, tomorrow we've got yet another upload, another lesson which I'm going to record as we continue on our journey of studying Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So I highly recommend that you don't miss it. You continue to follow me. Tomorrow will be day number 163. Today is day number 162 of our 365 days of power consciousness. It's all in the awareness that we are going to start acting different. When we gain understanding, we build faith. And when we build faith, we tend to do things and achieve more results at a faster rate than we did before. So thank you so much, Omana. Do not forget to press the subscribe button. The replays are always there on YouTube. You can go watch as far back as the 1st of January 2021 when we started the journey into Success Elementary, when we started our dream and our goal, and I started implementing and I started studying one of the most beautifully written books from the greatest authors of all times in the mental science and personal development space. So for you not to miss any of this good stuff, these good seeds that we continue to share each and every day, I invite you to press the subscribe button, share button, do whatever you have to do to make sure that a lot of people get to this type of information and tune in each and every day to get this good information. My name is Gilbert Gwaze. Success Elementary is the page to be. Each and every day we are here learning and studying together for a better future. The goal is to impact more than 1 million people to do better. If you know better, you'll do better. So we study to gain an understanding. We study to build our faith and to build the courage. If you've got any questions, use the comment section. Use every avenue that you have. You can call me, you can text me, do whatever you have to do to make sure that you're on the right track each and every time. Check yourself, mark your results, change your ways, and be on the right path to success. Up until we meet again, oh man. Same time, same place. Captain Gwaze here. Cheers. Bye.